Here we've got a tier list with every single dungeon. Ignore the advert. Every single dungeon. And I kind of wanted to do it on stream. I was like, man, I can do this on stream. Now, I remember pretty much all these dungeons. I think they're pretty good. So, to kind of break up the time a bit while we wait for PF to populate itself. Hang on, let me turn this BGM off and put actual music back on. Not actual music, you know what I mean. Yo, Spirit, thank you for continuing that sub. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Right, so I'm gonna put these things in terms of my opinion, mostly. Mostly just my opinion. You guys don't have to agree with me on these, right? Obviously I will obviously take what you guys... Maybe you guys will say something that will remind me of how good or bad something is. But, so like, obviously, you know, I'm kind of doing this with you. But at the same time... No, it's gonna be mostly how I feel. Now... Actually, I'm not gonna say any more. Let's just get on with it. How to get RSI. Thank you for the follow. Please don't get RSI. The shit hurts. Alright, first up. Stone Vigil. Realm Reborn Dungeon. Rankings? Yeah, dude. Yo, what's up, D-Mod? The ranking master himself. Stone Vigil. Realm Reborn Dungeon. Level 41? Yeah, 41. Very linear in design. Very... Oh, we'll just start it here. I'll just hold it like this. Very linear in design. I'm gonna try not to take difficulty into account too much, or how jobs function at that level, because it's not specifically the dungeon itself. If they prove to have like a major effect, then maybe. But I'm gonna try and avoid talking about difficulty wherever possible. It's probably gonna come up at some point, but you know. No holy goes in the bin. Shout out to that dragon that breathes fire on you during pulls. I think the boss design is okay. I think it teaches you some good stuff. Like, it's nothing noteworthy. The mob packs are okay. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's kind of average. I think I'm going to put it in C. I think generally it's not that bad. Like, it kind of makes you groan when you get it, but that's because of things that aren't to do with the dungeon. Like, we have to look at this thing from an objective standpoint. Like, what's the dungeon doing? Like, if we put, like, difficulty into it, then it would all be in the bin. If we paid too much attention to, like, player skill, then everything would be all over the place and you wouldn't be able to rank stuff, so... Next up, Dezimale Darkhold. To this day, I still don't know how to say this. I still have no fucking idea how to say this name. I like it all the way up to the first boss. I think it's got some cool design. Unfortunately, then they decide to throw that design away, and it just becomes a really generic dungeon after that. I like how kind of treacherous it is, but at the same time, like, the purple stuff that, like, denoted, like, where you placed mobs and pulls and stuff was really cool. I kind of liked it, but they just didn't do anything with it. And standing in the things is annoying. However, it is interactivity. It's puzzle, kind of, right? No idea, Spirit. Blue circles that take forever? Yeah, they take a long time. Zemel Darkhold, is that how you say it? Really? Okay. I'm not asking. Too much forced downtime? Yeah, like... The boss design is kind of shit as well. I think I'm gonna put this in... I think this is gonna be a D tier dungeon. I don't think it's very good. It's also very linear in design as well, and the reason I'm saying that is that I'm gonna come back to that point a lot. I should also thank Sphere for giving me this idea, by the way, this inspiration as well. I can't really do it for raids, because I've only been playing since Stormblood, so I can't really give an accurate answer for like Alex and Coil raids, and I don't want to be disingenuous. So. Anyway, next one, Aurum Vale. All right, where do you think I'm gonna put this, chat? Where do you think I'm gonna put this? Could do Shadowbringers only, maybe. Good luck, Spirit. Yeah, okay. Chat's right. I think this is genuinely an S tier dungeon. I think it is. Right? Let's look at it. Non-linear design. It is linear in places. But I've moaned countless times. I've moaned countless times about linear dungeon design. This allows you to pick and choose. There is one, like, better route, I think. But player skill aside, it's a low-level dungeon. Like, I think it's very good. There's a lot of damage. There, you have choice in places of what you pull. The bosses are alright, it has interactivity in it, it's something a bit different. I honestly think it's a good test. I honestly think it is. Yeah, like, it's low level, that kind of sucks. I agree. If it was high, it would be even cooler. Hello, Carbony. And it has more clones, that is true. Blue spam is good. Now, I honestly think people give Aurum Vale too much shit because Aurum Vale is a good example of how dungeons can be designed. I really think that. Yeah, Aurum Vale hard. It would be nice. It would be nice. I think it's kind of too late though. Right, this is going in the bin. The only saving grace of these two are the lore dumps. Like, they're good for story. That is what they're designed for. But these were a hell of a mistake. I just think their design was just kind of short-sighted and indicative of them not really knowing where they wanted to go with the game in terms of like 8-man raid content. Coin count as AoEs now. That is true. They have nerfed Aurum Vale a bit. That is true. I do feel that Aurum Vale has been worse. Has become worse, but you know. Even the story is debatably poor. It at least sets a scene, I think. It's a bit weird, but it sets a scene. Yeah, I agree, mister. Like, as annoying as it is to, you know, have a rough time in low-level stuff, like, when it comes to actual core design, you can't take that into account. People apparently quit because of coin counter. That's insane. That's insane. Right. Wanderer's Palace, the normal version. Wanderer's Palace. Honestly, nothing particularly noteworthy about it. I feel it's quite a generic dungeon. The bosses aren't particularly interesting. The puzzle section in the middle is okay. Like, I like this feeling of exploration. This is a theme in Realm Reborn dungeons, by the way. Something they got rid of ever since. I enjoy coin counter. I liked it pre-nerf, yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of, yeah, like tomberries are cool. Like tomberries are nice. I don't know, like I find it hard to really describe it properly, so I'm gonna put it in C. Personally, I think it's just, this is a thing that exists, you know. Normal or hard. This is the normal version. Hard version is there too. Tomberries are terrifying. They're terrifying in a really cute way. Amdapor Keep. The bot paradise. You know, the known and loved 40% chance of getting a bot every time you do it. Who wanders the corridors and opens chests and does absolutely nothing. I feel like as a dungeon, I think it's alright. I think it's a bit long. There's a lot of just corridor walking with, like, lots of nothing. Like, I'm sure it's meant to give this idea of being in a big place, but it's kind of empty for me. Is Amdapor Keep. It's just very kind of... Again, just relatively nondescript and drab. Which Amdapor is one. That's Lost City of Amdapor. We'll get to that one. Music is nothing special either. It's just kind of boring. I think I'm just going to give it a D. Honestly. Give it the D. When I can't think of anything to save it, it's going to be D or below. Hello, Jen. Pharisirius. Good dungeon. I think Pharisirius is good. I think it looks great. The music is insane. The music is incredible. Yeah, I agree. It gets points just for the music. It's amazing. But I think it's a nice dungeon. It's very vibrant, very flashy. The dungeons are, the bosses are pretty like uniquely designed, I think, as well. So I think I'm gonna give this an AD tier. It has 4 bosses. I don't know if you can count the third one. The third one is a mini boss, I guess. I don't really know what they were doing with that. Like, again, this was around the time where they didn't really know where they were going with stuff, but they were trying stuff out. And that's what I really like. Like, nowadays, they're so stuck in this bog of normality and, like, linearity and just copy-paste. Realm Reborn, honestly, had some good shit going for it. They were trying. Yeah, exactly. Good luck, Sheriff Clutch. Hope it goes well, friend. Classifying dungeons, yes. So Pharisirius gets an A. I think it's very good. I like that dungeon. Unlucky creature. That's rough. Copperbell Mines, hard. The hard mode. Interesting. It's one of the dungeons you don't see very often. You have to do roulettes a lot to see it. Nothing special musically. personally anyway. One of the first boss is kinda cool. I don't even remember the second boss, and the third boss is that big sand pit with the crystals and stuff. Like, again, experimental, but I think kind of one of the more poorly executed on the whole. The dungeon's not that interesting. Ziggy Rock. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I didn't really like it. I didn't really like it. I think it's gonna get a D. Like, again, like, they were trying, and I respect that, but this time it wasn't so good. I think it was kind of shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the big Ziggy guy and the big golem. Yeah, like, again, like, it was experimental and kind of cool. I think more poorly executed this time. Hawk Manor Hard. I really like Hawk Manor's aesthetic. I think it's really nice. I think Hawk Manor was okay. Again, I think the music was the music the same as the other hard dungeons, where it's just like that kind of souped up style? Like, I don't know. Yeah, the lore of Hawk Manor and the lore of Tamtara, which we'll get to, is actually pretty good. Very creepy. Very... It was sure of itself. It was very sure of itself. C or B? B, 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 C, B. Yeah, I think it is, like... I think it might be a B. Like, as simple as it sounds, you know, picking up keys is okay. I kind of like that. You know, again, like, it makes it feel more like a dungeon, right? Not just like a zone with doors in it. You know, it feels like a dungeon. So we'll give it a B. Alright, crowd favorite Sastasha. The first dungeon you ever find in the game. Level 15. Did you put the most challenging, optimized, greatest dungeon of all time Praetorium in the bin? Yes. Yes, I did. E, bin, E, B, C, E, bin, S+++. Hey, Saren, you're objectively wrong. That's just like your opinion, man. Vale is S tier. Yeah, we're not taking, like, player experience into account. We're looking at it from a design standpoint, for the most part. As much as possible. I think Sastasha was alright for a first dungeon. I liked seeing the piece of paper that told you which thing to press. The issue is they never bothered with that again. Again, like, these dungeoneer mechanics are kind of interesting, but they just didn't do anything with it. Sastasha has thoughts, does it? Sastasha hard music slaps. That music's pretty good, but this is the normal one. Yeah, I think it's okay for a first dungeon. I think it's completely alright. I don't think... No, it didn't try too hard. The bosses weren't very interesting. I should say this is from a standpoint of someone who started in Stormblood as well, so, you know, things perhaps didn't take so long to do. But you still, like, see the mechanics that you need to see, so... A little long? I don't know about long. You can do it in, like, 10 minutes. Or less, sometimes. Is it as cool as Stone Visual? I mean, like, these aren't in any particular order, but I think it's, like, a higher C than Stone Vigil. I think Stone Vigil's a bit lower. Maybe. Wait, haircut? Yes. Can you even call them bosses? That is true. The boss design is very meh. But it's meant to be. Like, it's very simple. It's the first one. Elephant. Thank you for the raid. Hello. How's it going? What's up, Zangetsu? Long time no see, friend. How are you? Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Appreciate that. How was your stream? We're just doing a dungeon tier list, as inspired by Sphere's raid tier list he was doing last night. Credit to him for the inspiration. Hair gone. Hair is gone. We cleaned up the appearance. It was great. How about you? It's going good so far, thank you. Anyway, I think Sastasha gets a high C from me, or like a mid C. I think it's fine. These aren't in an order. Ormvale S tier, off to a good start. Look, I'm telling you right now. Ormvale, I'm not joking. Ormvale is a well-designed dungeon. I think it's challenging. I think it's varied. It gives player choice. And it changes up the size of the mod packs and stuff. And the bosses are good. There's a lot of damage. I honestly like Ormvale. A lot of people disagree, and that is fine. But this is how I feel. Yeah, we're talking about things from a dungeon design standpoint rather than like a personal experience standpoint, because you know that's gonna change opinions a lot. Right, Lost City. Oh, the fucking poison, man. All the poison everywhere. Debuff the dungeon. Yeah, there's a lot of poison here. Wait, was this the one with poison? Yeah, it was the one with all the things. It was all the mold colonies. Right. Yeah, this was the dungeon that had Diabolos in it. At the end. Did you know that Comfort moves the Grenelin debuff? I did. I did remember that. The hard mode has the Karibo at the end. Also, there's mimics. Yeah, I on stream for 12 hours, awake almost 24. I need to go down my count. No worries, Elephant. Thank you so much for the raid again. Really appreciate it. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for sending the love over. Sleep well. Have a great day. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Bye for now. Poison is annoying. I really like the last boss. Very refreshing mechanic. Yeah, like I want to give it a low rank, but like it's not actually a bad dungeon. Again, like it's more challenging, and challenging is nice. The music is good.
Nice hair.
Diablo's had mechanics. Yeah, I mean, no one does them. People just burn him down and just heal through it, but yeah. Ghostly, thank you for 5 months. Appreciate that. Thank you. And Elephant, thank you for the tier 1. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome. Enjoy your emotes. More coming soon. TTS was like, nice hair, yeah. Something like that. But alright, yeah, no, I agree. Like, I was originally not a big fan, but I think, like, given everything that it does, I think it's a good dungeon. Halatali hard. Thank you, Neo Slayer. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Zenus. Was Halatali hard? It was like the place where they like trialed you through loads of stuff. Yeah, it was like a tournament in a way, like a gladiator sort of thing. I think it's okay. But it's okay in the fact that it's a Realm Reborn dungeon and I generally prefer them. Generally. Not in all cases, but... yeah, like, it has alright ideas. The first one was the big Cyclops-style boss. Second boss was... don't even remember. Oh, the other Cyclops boss. Thank you, Nutter. Appreciate it. And the third one was that Manticore with the guy. Again, like I want to give it marks because it was trying, but there was nothing really special about it. The amount of male NPCs and loot armor, honestly, understandable. I can't think of any reason to make it to put it below average, but there's no reason to put it above average either. So I think we'll put it here. I think we'll put it there. Oh my god, not a scam train again. Oh my god.
Gifted a tier 1 sub to Araya Greyka.
Oh
they
my
have given
god.
2 gift subs in the channel.
Spirit just trying to find old viewers, old OGs, just to give him a sub. What a kind fellow. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to Arya, Spirit. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back, Arya. Do I gift Arya? Because you complain when you get gifted as well. Tier list that's wrong. Okay, I mean, that's your opinion. It's your opinion. No, you're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to think it's wrong. But like, I am a fan of some of these Realm Reborn dungeons. Alright, Brave Flocks, long stop, hard. This is the one that had that tank for the last boss. You had to free the goblins. Oh my god. Guys, holy shit, thank you. Oh my god. Cygus, thank you for the tier 1. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Enjoy your emotes, friend. Thank you, thank you. It was nice and fast. It was kind of fast. Brave Flocks is adorable. One shot Umbra. Good job, dude. Good job. Did you get caught in the lawnmower? Yes, and I was completely unscathed apart from my hair and my beard. No, thank you, Cygus. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Again, like it's a dungeon I can't think of a reason to put out of the average tier. The Bomberman mechanic from the first boss, yeah. I think I'm just gonna give it a C. I can't think of a reason to put it above or below a C. We'll talk about the trend we've developed at the end, but you know. Hullbreaker Isle. This dungeon is ruined by the last boss. The last boss is the biggest hunk of shit I've ever fucking seen. It doesn't make any sense. It's just needlessly jank. It's like, it's just really, really, really unfun to do. It's... The rest of, like, the dungeon looks nice. There's traps and shit, you know, gotta watch your footing. The first boss of the gorilla's alright. Kind of. The second boss was that snail thing that goes into the floor. Like, it's a nice theme, but to me that only just keeps it out of the bin. Like, that last section of the dungeon really, just on the whole, is just it just needlessly gates you as well. I don't know, man. Like, I've never seen such a heinous excuse of a boss fight. It's going in E. I might move it up. We'll see. Maybe. Stone Vigil hard. This is between the E and the bin. This is like sitting on the edge of the fucking bin can. Yeah, again, the second boss with the cannons. Really fucking dog shit. Like that was really bad. Apart from that, like, it's not really doing anything wrong. It's just... What was the last boss? Oh yeah, the last boss was the dual Gandarua S rank things. Yeah, I remember now. That was okay. I think the rest of the dungeon just about keeps it out of the bin. The first boss was really boring as well. Again, like, we do need to somewhat, like, to a very small extent, consider that this is when they didn't really know what they were doing and they were experimenting. And that's fine, but sometimes experiments go horribly wrong. It's going in E for now. Oh, I didn't just leave and queue for it. Yeah, it's so dumb. Implying they know what they're doing now. Well, they do. The problem is they're too scared to change it. Like, as we'll see, more recent dungeons feel more deliberate, but not always in a good way. Alright, Tamtara, very good lore. Aesthetically, very cool. The boss design is extremely creepy. Very true to the lore. It's I think this is honestly a very cool dungeon. I groan when I get the normal one, but the hard one's alright. It's not S tier, but the theme is very cool. I like how just purposely creepy they've made it. I think we're gonna put it in H. I don't think it's S. I mean, don't think it's S. Don't think it's S. Personally. Alright, Snowcloak. More lore and stuff. The bosses kinda sucked. Very nice music. Music is very nice. But the bosses kinda sucked, in my opinion. But I like a snowy aesthetic. The mob packs aren't that linear. Like, they are, but like, you know, it's changed up. I think the whole transforming into the dragons and nearly murdering you thing is pretty cool. Staggered pull after the second boss. Yeah, like it was kind of weird, wasn't it? The second boss is pretty fucking bad though, chat. The second boss, I don't know if it was a good experiment or a bad experiment, man. I don't know. I don't know. Someone /told me. I'm AFK, sorry. Hello? Fuck's sake, Pivy. Why did I even look? Yeah, I think it's alright. We'll give benefit of the doubt here, because it wasn't terrible, I just didn't like it much. But the music is nice, the aesthetic is cool. The rest of the bosses, like, they weren't great, but, you know, they were inoffensive. He just whispered me saying, yummy armpits. Chad, it's time to move along. In terms of difficulty, like, in general, like, none of these are difficult, though, either. Like, just to come back to it briefly, like, none of them are that difficult. Tamtara is kind of, though. And I guess, like, difficulty is kind of playing into the rankings a bit. I'm trying not to. But dungeons that do things differently and make things a bit harder that way, I like that. Anyway, Sastasha Hard. Cool first boss. I kind of liked running through Sastasha in a different light. The second boss I actually kind of liked too. And then the fucking Kraken comes back again. Because, you know, we needed more Kraken, clearly. Guga Toms, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, welcome. More fucking tentacles, man. It's like, man, I'm living in a hentai! Oh, man! God. Exactly, Pharaoh. I agree. Stop it! It's going in D. I'm sorry. I kind of liked Sastasha Hard, but again, like, when you have such an offensively bad boss fight, it just ruins it for me. I can't do it. Is this exit lag working? Absolutely, friend. I recommend it. No, by the way, is chat readable on screen, by the way? I actually don't know if it's readable on the screen with a white background. It looks like it is. Ish, okay. We'll make it a little bigger, alright. We can make it a bit bigger. I can change its color as well, maybe. Whatever, we'll leave it like that for now. It's alright. As long as it's not like too terrible. Or I could just do this, you know. I could just do that maybe. And just have it not full screen. Alright, cool. Right, sorry, we'll carry on. Sunken Temple of Khan Hard. So, this had stuff you needed to pick up. Thank you, Novich. Appreciate that. This had stuff you needed to pick up. When I use it, it says I can't use this code. What do you mean it's saying you can't use this code? Where are you putting the code? You can just go through it without them. First boss. Is it saying it's not working? Are you typing it properly? I don't know, it should be active, and the link's never changed. I don't know, fam. I'm not putting it in e-chat. Let me just check something real fast. Yeah, don't put the quotation marks in the code, if that's what you're doing. I was just about to go and check it and make sure it is working. And the code works for me. It definitely works. You need to type it exactly like that. Alright, anyway. I don't know, man, that's weird. If it's still not working, I can get in contact with my contact later, and I can message you on Twitch later. It should be working. Make sure you also access it through the link in my description as well. I don't think it works if you don't go through my link. The command has lowercase. So I think that still works though. I can change it quick, but hold up. Custom commands. Save. Right, it definitely works when you go through my link, so just make sure you're going through my link. And if that still doesn't work, I'll get in touch with my contact, and then I can DM you on Twitch later on. Alright. We'll continue on for now. Right. Yeah, Sunken Temple. I really like the last boss. I think the last boss is very cool. I think the last boss is very cool. It reminds me of Vault of the Wardens from WoW. And that's quite a cool mechanic as well. Like the rest of the dungeon for me is just kind of nondescript. The second boss is the cactus one. Again, it's another experimental concept. I think it's alright. I think I actually kind of like it. I think it doesn't do anything wrong. It's got all the makings of a more interesting dungeon. Yeah, like it's experimenting. It doesn't get everything right, but I think it did a better job than some of the other ones. Keeper of the Lake. The boss design here makes me want to go to sleep forever. I'm gonna be honest, not a big fan of Keeper of the Lake. Like it's great for lore and stuff, but the first and second bosses are really bad, in my opinion. Like the last third of the dungeon steps it up for sure. I think I can only give it a D at most. I'm sorry. I know people love the last boss and stuff. Like, the lore is cool. I understand. I do understand. I just... I don't know, fam. This feels... like, too much of the dungeon is really boring. And just kind of shit. Like, the rest of the dungeon lets it down. I'm sorry. Literally jumped when I turned on the stream. Wait, why? Keeper of the Lake crashed my game so I had to delete and re-download it. What? Yikes. I don't know why that happened. You're missing something? What? Is it the adverts? Are they a bit spooky? Don't worry about those, man. It's alright. Yeah, the face is kind of weird. Oh wait, oh you mean me, right? Oh, it's another hair joke. All right, fair. Yeah, sorry, I'm a different person today. You know, me and Saren, we're two different people. Right, I'm just kidding. Oh, sorry about the lag spike, by the way. Thank you, keeping it, Isaac. Appreciate it. Tamtara. Tamtara normal. The boss fights are not boss fights. They're really shit, apart from the last one. The dungeon's very boring. It's very corridory. As I said, the bosses suck. It's a decent learning dungeon. Perhaps. Bin, I did it last night and got a tank who didn't want a tank and a healer who didn't want to heal. We can't base it off of player experience, sadly. Unfortunately. I want to put it in the bin. I really do. But I feel like that might be too harsh. I don't know. One redeeming factors for Tamtara, so it's not bin. We can run through it fast. On the basis that... Where the fuck is it? On the basis that Toto Rak is going in the bin, I'm putting Tamtara in E. I'm just gonna go and find that one now and put it in the fucking bin. Alright. This is the standard we set for bin-worthy... For bin-worthy dungeons. Tamtara, in my mind, is slightly above it. Slightly. You want to give Tamtara a high bin? A high bin? High bin? High bin, dude. I don't know. Alright. Alright, well, these aren't in an order in the tier list, by the way. But we'll say that this is high bin for now. Alright, fine. Okay. Do it in order then. If you want to do it in order, like, for B... okay, we'll do it in order then. We'll put, like... So this, like, the further right you go, the higher it is. I think this goes back here for me. High A. Keeper of the Lake can be a high D, that's fine. In that case, we'll swap these around. No, that's fine. Right, there we go. Okay, now everything's in an order. Should do it in order at the end. Yeah, I could reorder them at the end, I suppose. Left to right, good to bad. Oh my god. Alright. It's so laggy, dude. I fucking hate it. I'm gonna put Zestashua as a high C. I think this is fine. Okay, I need to swap this around. Okay. I wanna... yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, there we go. So, on the left side is, you know, S+, A+, B+, etc. On the right is, you're lucky to be here. Alright. Right, Wanderer's Palace, hard. The second boss was kind of cool with all the debuff stuff. First boss nondescript. Third boss is a good tank check and a healer check with the Doom mechanic. Why is Tamtar, why is that in the bin? Because we can't think of much reason other than it's fast for it not to be. Tamtar too lucky in the bin. Wanderer's Palace. Wanderer's Palace hard. Like, it's very droll. But it's somewhat varied. It's quite long. I think I'm gonna give it a high D. There is Tomberries, yeah, but I think the normal one is better. I think the normal one feels better to play through, honestly. It's just me, though. No, to have linear map, yeah. Then again, I think that part was actually linear. Alright, yeah, and there's nothing really much to say about it, to be honest. Like, it just kind of exists. Amdapur Keep hard. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what Amdapur Keep hard even is. What the fuck was Amdapur Keep hard? The death wall. Oh yeah, it was the death wall, and then like the DPS check after, and then that Joker later. Oh yeah. Yikes. Yeah, now I remember. I didn't like this dungeon. I really didn't like this dungeon. Hello, Cammy. Yeah, I really didn't like this dungeon. We're gonna give it a high E, because it's better than this heap of shit. But I remember absolutely no redeeming features of Amdapur. It's droll. The boss design is kind of wank. Like the fact that you have to wait for the cast bar to finish even if you free the people out of the things. I presume it's because it was harder once upon a time, which is fair. Actually, I think I'll give it like a mid D. I think we'll put it like here. Like it's not okay, but it's not like offensive. Okay, the Dusk Vigil. Again, it's just a dungeon where bosses don't feel like bosses. They're just fucking mobs. Like, the first boss is garbage. The second boss is alright, actually. The second boss isn't that bad. The third boss is kind of garbage too. Yeah, it's the downtime elephant mammoth thing. What was the second boss? It was the knight that kept spawning his minions. I actually agree. Good, Tunnel. I'm glad you agree, yeah. It's actually a good dungeon. So you can sack equals god tier. No, that's not what I meant. Yeah, like... a dungeon, like, Dusk Vigil doesn't annoy me. Like, D and a below have a reason to annoy me. But Dusk Vigil is just really inoffensive. It's not a high C. I think it's, like, just ahead of Stone Vigil, honestly. It's alright. It's linear corridor wars, yeah. But I like the second boss is alright. I like that entire section after the first boss and before the third boss is all okay. I think it should have a higher rank. If you can give me a good reason why, maybe, but my opinion's pretty set on it just being extremely average. Hello, Callista. Talking Hullbreaker? Oh, Hullbreaker, right. No, like, I'm sorry, the entire last section, including the boss, just makes it offensively bad for me. Alright, Som Al. Ugh. Where do we start with Som Al, man? The lead up to the first boss is pretty tough. There's a lot of poison. Which doesn't necessarily make it bad though. Like, as we said of Lost City of Amdapur, like I wanted to call it bad but I couldn't consciously do it. Like, it's got a lot of damage. Each section of the dungeon looks different. The mobs in the second half are kind of bad. But the third boss is kind of cool. The second boss is... Hello, welcome to stack markers that aren't stack markers. And spread markers that aren't spread markers. The first boss was just... It exists. Somehow music is good, dungeon is okay. I think I'm gonna give it a high C. I think a high C. It's... The problem is, I need to not let myself be, like, tainted by the fact that I've seen this dungeon way too much. Like, I've done this so many times, and doing something enough times is gonna worsen your view of anything. It's gonna mess you up, but I think it's okay. Yeah, it's a fair point, Xenus. There wasn't standardized stack markers until, I don't know, later. Nidhogg or something. The Airy. Shit looks so fucking cool, man. The Airy looks so good. The Airy looks amazing. I like that you can see it from the churning mists as well, kinda. Like, in terms of the dungeon content itself, not that amazing. Really. But it looks great. The last fight's kinda cool, you know, it's a good precursor. I think the music's alright. Nidhogg folds like a rusty check. He is kinda shit, yeah. Kinda shit. Again, I think I'll give it a high C. I wanted to give it a B. I like Heavensward Dungeons, but it's just a bit... Having a Stinian there was cool though. Yeah. I can dote on a Stinian, it's S tier. I'm gonna leave it in high C and very quickly blow my nose. Hang on a sec, chat. Oh! Hello, I'm back. What's up? Alright, the vault! We'll start maybe speeding up a little bit. We've still got a lot to go. Right, the vault. Honestly, A2. The aesthetic is... The mobs are fun. The Dark Souls vibe I get from this is like straight up just... Oh, my shoulder! Vade121, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, welcome. Like, the voice acting is great. It's genuinely a scary dungeon. It does a lot of damage, or at least actually it doesn't do much damage now. It used to though. The music is good. Like, just everything about this is just nice. Like, I just really like how much effort went into the aesthetics. Like, it's genuinely intimidating. I really, really like it. Bin? Because it wants to purge my thickness. Your thickness is yours to own. Don't listen to them. You look 10 years younger. Thanks, man. But yeah, Vault, incredible, really good. I don't know. It is a high A. I don't know if it reaches S. Bring it up to S. You guys think it should be S? All right. I know this is my opinion, but I think you're right. I think you might be right. I think it's behind Aurum Vale, and you know everyone hates me for this. I understand, but in defense of Aurum Vale, you and the devs share the same mindset. Look, it's up there for a reason. The bosses are shy. I think they're good. I think they're alright. Only if Serenaya is S. We'll see. Great Gubal Library. Where the third boss wipes every group of new players ever. That's not the dev ski, that's the community management team, I think. So okay, again, we'll get to that, it's on its way. Great Gubal. Is back on my account. Okay, interesting, Guga. No worries, man. Enjoy. Thank you for using my link. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Vault music is also very good. Gubal Library, like, it's fine. I like, Gubal is a bit wacky. Yeah, I think it's alright. I think it's... I think it's a low B. So, remember, the right is now low, apparently. So, like, on the right side is low. I think it's a low B. It's pretty nice for how, like, quote-unquote droll it kind of is. Like, its aesthetic is really nice. The third boss is kind of cool. I like it. What the fuck were the other bosses, dude? Oh, the second boss is that, beast on the book. I remember that now. Sepha, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, welcome. Demon War. Oh yeah, Demon War, I think, yeah, no. Like none of the bosses are bad. I think all the bosses are okay. Yeah, we'll get to the hard one. When you had to use some tetherball to make him vulnerable. Yeah, you had to knock him off, basically. Alright, Ether Chemical Research Facility. It looks really nice. But the run up to the last boss is so fucking boring. Like, it's so slow. First boss is fine. Too long and mostly baby pause. Yeah, that's ruining it for me as well. Like, the bosses aren't bad. But, like, all the mobs and stuff just really kind of annoys me. The second boss was the thing that was transforming into different things. Like, thematically, it's a very cool dungeon. I kind of want to put it in B for that as well. Like, I want to make it like a low B. I think it looks very nice. The bosses are fine. The mob packs aren't great. But it's just between the second and third boss that kind of annoys me. Like, run up to the second boss is fine for mobs, I think. I'm gonna give it a low B. I'm gonna give it a low B. I think it's alright. Actually, I'm gonna put it ahead of Sunken Temple and Lost City. Actually, it's a mid B for me. I think it's actually pretty alright. It's really hard when you have this many. Like, trying to rank them within their tiers is really hard. Like okay, Never Reap is next. We did this the other day during the Mental Roulette stream. It's my most recent encounter, so it's still somewhat fresh. Looks great. I think the boss design is fine. I like the shadowiness of the first boss, that mechanic. Second boss, yeah, interactivity in the dungeon. Like, we're at the point now where, like, interactivity has been mostly removed from dungeons at this point. Like, we're into Heavensward. They've got a better idea of what they want to do with dungeons. Like, all this experimentation isn't really there anymore, but this is an exception where it kind of is. I like the bosses from here, and I think that the dungeon looks very good. I think this also goes in mid-B. A bit ahead, yeah, ahead of Lost City, I think. Isn't it an optional dungeon? It is. It is. It is not part of story. It is criminally underplayed. Yeah, it's a rare one. I think it's because people get very sick of Sea of Clouds, so they don't unlock the shit in it. It's better than ARF? I don't think so. I don't think so. I like the Allegan aesthetics. Very good. Anyway. Fractal Continuum Normal. This is... Yeah, I remember this one. It's when you go through the teleports. And go to different sections, and then, like, the last section is like this big open space where you have to turn off the consoles and stuff, and then you get to the middle platform. Again, Allegan aesthetic, very cool, but nothing much to say. The bosses, from what I can remember, weren't that great. This did have an interactive boss in it, where the big boom mob was going mad and you had to, like, break down a thing so it could go and eat it. A bit like the gorilla in Hullbreaker. The music is good. The music is good. I can't think of a reason to make it higher, though. Again, it's Allegan and I like the aesthetic, but at the same time, the dungeon itself isn't that interesting. So I'm gonna put it, like, here. And, like, sometimes I actually place dungeons I play less often higher up because it's just nice to see them and do things in them. And I have fonder memories of dungeons that I haven't played so much. That's another thing for me. Copperbell Mine's normal. What class is your main? Machinist. I love you, chat. I really do love you. This is an experiment gone very wrong. Like, it's just not... I'm trying to think of a reason to put it in E. But I can't think of one. There's some interactivity in it. But it doesn't matter. Like, in this case, it doesn't matter. It's... I'm sorry. It's a high bin. It's a high bin. It's a high bin. Here is a representation. Alright. It's a high bin. Wait, no. Yeah, no, yeah, it's a high bin. Wait, yeah, I didn't move these. I'm sorry. I didn't move these around. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is low bin. Yeah, it's high bin. Sorry, my bad. I'll take prey over it, really? At least Copper Mines is short. Second boss is weird. Second boss is terrible. There are so many better ways you could have done that. Like, or they could have done that, sorry. But they didn't, so no thank you. St. Mochian's Arboretum. Arboretum. However you say it. Man hasn't even gotten to the good shit yet. This is long, yeah. I think this dungeon looks amazing. I think this dungeon looks great. The bosses are fine. The music is alright. I think I'm gonna give it... the highest B. Yeah, some of them are hard to remember, Teleparty. That's why I'm taking a while, because I'm trying to make sure I actually remember them. Really big fan of Glamour from this one. Plague Doctor stuff? Yeah, it's alright. Dunk mobs in water to make them weaker. That was the hard mode version. That was the hard one. Okay. I think I'm gonna give it a high B. I think it's good. You know any ninjas to get some POV? Yes, Llama Todd. Llama Todd's a good ninja. Alright, you need to resort this B tier. You think? I don't know, I think it's alright as it is. Honestly. Like, ranking them within a tier when there's so many is hard. Like, I agree. I don't forget, like, it goes in order, right? So, like, it goes from high, lower, 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 lower. Like, Snowcloak isn't high as well. You need to kind of look at it that way. Like, it's difficult. Alright, Pharaoh's Serious Hard. Again, add it again with the big music. Yeah, like, the boss design of Mochian's isn't great, but, like, it's not offensive either. And I really like the rest of it. I think Pharaoh's Serious Hard's very cool. But it is not as good as normal, I think. I think it's more annoying. So I think this probably goes mid-ish. Do you know what? I'm not comfortable with this. This is going lower down. I don't know. That's going ahead of that, though. No, I'm gonna lower my chance a bit. High B is quite a bit of praise. Yeah, like Pharaoh Sirius again, great music, great aesthetic, and like the bosses are fine. It's just not as good as the normal one. Like that's all I can really say. It's just not as good. So I can't consciously put it any higher. Hello Biaka, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not a caveman anymore. It's crazy. Anti-tower. Honestly, a good dungeon. Hello, how are you? How's it going? Anti-tower. I honestly think it's a very good dungeon. It is very linear. It is very linear. But the bosses are pretty cool. Like, anti-tower's hard because, like, things die so fast. Like, things die so fast. Like, it's really hard to, like, think about it properly. But the aesthetic is very cool. The boss is alright. The mob packs aren't that bad. That's just because it's a bad spot for the expansion tuning. Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to take things like this into account. Like difficulty and stuff. But although that said, difficulty has played into Aurum Vale being an S-tier dungeon. So, I mean... Yeah, I'ma give it... I want to put it in A. But it's like, I want to put it like over here. Like, it's a very low A. To be honest. Yeah, like, difficulty is being accounted for in a way. If the difficulty is healthy. I like Hullbreaker's Kraken, which just fucking slaps you up and kills you. Like, it's just confusing and annoying. Whereas, like, Aurum Vale is good difficulty because it actually just makes you press buttons. But yeah, I'll give it an A, but it's a low A. Alright, Lost City of Amdapur Hard. This has the big Karibo Sin Eater thing for a last boss. I think this is a good dungeon. I don't know if it's S tier. I think it's a good dungeon. It's got good music, yeah. Easy bin capper. Are you capping though? Are you really capping? Are you really? We're in Amdapur Hard right now. Report back on what it's like. I'm gonna give it. I think I'm gonna put it in A. I think it's really cool. I like how each section's very different. I like the variety. I do like the variety. I like the music. Yeah, like it is very easy nowadays. Oh yeah, I think it's an A. It's still a lowish A, but it's an A. Alright, so Akai. Alright, hear me out, chat. The problem I have with this dungeon is that it does absolutely nothing creative, yet somehow it's a fucking S. This is the issue. I love this dungeon. It's fucking gorgeous. The music is amazing. I really like the last boss, even though he falls out the sky like a sack of shit. I really like it. The Pegasus boss is very pretty and it's very unconventional in terms of boss arena. I feel like the first boss. Hold up, my brain. Oh, the Moogle, right. I mean, like, it's a Moogle, which loses it points, but at the same time, you know, it's not a bad fight. Which dungeon do you think has the best glamour? I don't know. Swallow's Compass, maybe? Swallow's Compass or Scala, maybe? Although I think Scala's a little bit underrated, personally. I think it's a bit overrated. But it is dieable, which is big plus points. But I think Swallow's Compass edges it out. Like, you know, I'm literally... Hang on. I'm literally wearing the boots. Like, these boots are just... Oh! My god, I coom every time. But yeah, so Akai, S tier dungeon. How is Scala overrated? They got dungeon glam. Yeah, we're talking about the glam. Like, it's... I've not factored in glam into a lot of these because a lot of it's just pretty generic. But like, if glam can give it bonus points, then I will take it into consideration. But like, currently, like, none of these are rated on glam, really. Just because a lot of it is very nondescript. Hero's Gauntlet would be good if it was dieable. They completely missed the mark with it not being dieable, in my opinion. Hold Breaker hard. Yeah, I agree. It's going in like it's going low D. Like it's alright-ish. As in, like, we're compared to its normal counterpart. It's a lot less offensive than Hullbreaker. It is forgettable. The music is... I don't care. It's somewhat pretty. It's one where you fight the Limsa boys. Yeah, that's alright. That wasn't a terrible fight, though. That's what kind of pulls it up a bit. Where's Totorak? Totorak is in the bin, friend. It's right here. It's in the bin, dude. It's a high bin. Okay. Zelfatol. They're pretty much on the same level, Krez. Zelfatol, I think, is a cool dungeon. First boss is cool. Second boss is forgettable. Third boss, not bad. But the run-up from the end of the first boss to the third boss, very cool. I think it's nice. I like the extended section inside. Third boss gave us a new theme. I don't remember. I'm gonna give Zelfatol a low A. I think Zelfatol is fun to do. Like, it feels like a journey. The boss is alright. It's either a low A or a high B. Possibly Finn. Don't know. Great Gubal Hard. Great Gubal Hard, the second boss, and all the lead up to the third boss and the third boss, all pretty cool stuff. Up to that, pretty bad. Yeah, Fiery Pepsi Man was pretty cool. I think the last section is very nice. The last boss is somewhat confusing, but I think that's not a bad thing. Yeah, the first section drags it down. I'm gonna give it a low B, I think. I'm gonna give it a low B. I don't know. Maybe a mid B. All right. Maybe a more middle B. She was better than Snowcloak. Oh, it was better than Snowcloak. You're right. You're right. All right. Yeah, sure. We'll give it a mid B. Sure. All right. Baelsar's Wall. All right. I mean, I'm kind of biased because I find the Imperial theme very boring. I find Imperial shit very boring. I liked the last boss. I kind of liked some of the mob sections. The music is extremely nondescript. I think I'm gonna give it like I enjoy the mob sections. I like yeah, it's a high or like a mid C. I think I'm gonna give it a high C. Like it can't break into B because there aren't that many redeeming qualities. When you got this dungeon next week and you were here for a while, I wish I was there to witness that. Alright, Som Owl Hard. I have nothing good to say about this dungeon. Really. I have nothing to say about it. Really. Isn't the Matoya dungeon just a reskin of this one? The last section, yeah. I'm gonna give it a mid C. It's just okay. Yeah, like it's just okay. There's nothing particularly bad to give it a D, but there's nothing particularly good to give it a B. It's a very mid ground. Alright, Halatali normal. Honestly, bin S bin. It's the bosses were pretty bad. It has interactivity in it with the chains though. I think the mid section's alright. I'm gonna give it a mid E. I think I don't think Halatali is good. I very much get very sad when I get this dungeon. Again, you know, this was in a time where they didn't really know what they were doing with dungeon design. Bosses just didn't really feel like bosses. They were just like random mobs, but made a bit bigger. You know, it just felt like a hunt target, really. It didn't... There's definitely nothing good. The bosses are really, really quite bad. The music can't back anything up. So I think... Like, there was a tiny bit of choice of where you could pick mobs, I guess. But I think just... Overall, just... All of Halatali just is very droll. It's a bit of a slog to get through. Alright, Siren Song C. Getting there, getting there. Yeah, when you get bad RNG, it's even worse. Yeah, I agree. Siren Song C. Oh, I think it's just okay. I think it's just okay. I can't think of anything. You think B Callisto? Why do you think B Callisto? I can't fault it, but it's not shit. Yeah, like it's... Is that CJ on the Praetorium image? It is, yeah. I think we're literally just like slap bang in the middle here. Like B for atmosphere. Like it's got cool things. Like the day I noticed that you saw ships like appear in the distance, I was like, holy fuck, I've never seen that. That is cool. Just everything else about it just feels boring to me. Like everything else about it just isn't that fun. There's like, it has a cool thing here and there, but like it's balanced out by everything else just being, it just kind of exists. Alright, Shisui of the Violet Tides. Optional dungeon in Stormblood. Je suis français. Shisui. Wait, hold up. I didn't even account for this dungeon on the glam list. People are asking about best glamour earlier. Hold up, what was I thinking? This dungeon's Kuma Central. It was compulsory. I swear it's optional. It's a blue quest. For some reason, because I remember thinking the same. You need it for flying. Yeah, that's the one. So like in a way it's compulsory, I guess. In a way. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's optional, yeah. So, like, credit where it's due. The glam is amazing. I think the bosses were fine. The music is very, you know, whee! It's like you're in a dream. Like the aesthetic is very cool. I think this is good. I've always liked Shisui. The question is, does it break into A tier? I don't think it does, and here's why. The mob placement is very boring. Like, the mob placement and packs pretty fucking boring. It's getting a high B. Fault glam bias? Maybe. Alright, we're gonna have to maximize here. I'm sorry, chat. I'm gonna make you bigger again. You're running out of room. It was almost off the screen. Bardam's Metal. Very painful dungeon. The second boss, like, it's like Marmite, I think. Either you like it or you hate it. But I kind of liked this dungeon. I thought, like, you could pull big if you wanted to. I think it had some variety. It's aesthetically, I don't think it's very interesting. The tanks. I think we're gonna put it mid-ish B. Mid-ish B. I think, like, it's got nothing that special. It's good for turning your brain off unless you're a tank or a healer. So kind of half and half. It's a pretty painful dungeon if you want it to be. That's fair, that's fair. Like, there is good lore into it, that you are correct. Doma instant A just for BGM. Doma Castle. Like, unfortunately, like, this... We're coming to the end of the point where the dungeons did cool things. I liked the bosses for these, kind of. Bosses were blur, you think? I think the first one was a bit droll. I think the second and third are alright. You guys don't like the bosses? S? I don't know. I don't think I can give it an S. I think it's due to mob density, the ability to pull big if you wanted. I kind of like the bosses. Again, I think it's going in the mid-B category with Bardams. Ahead of Varus, please. Thank you. His favorite tank maiming gear pieces. Fair. Castrum. Again, somewhat painful dungeon. But I think it's very boring. I think this is a very boring dungeon. The mobs are gated way too much. Way too much. The bosses aren't particularly interesting. The second boss is right, but he falls over so fast. God tier weapons. The weapon glam is kind of cool. I really don't understand the weapon glam from here, I'm gonna be honest. Second boss gives me PTSD. It's not that bad. Second boss, I think, is the highlight, though. Like, I think this is going in D, honestly. This is Castrum Urbania, the level 69 dungeon. Nice. The pull at the end kind of helps. I'll give it a high D. Second boss was the cannon one. No, it was the one of the 3 elements. Oh, my party members. Fair. Alright, for Alamigo! Alamigo. Have to share these findings. My word, this data! The second boss is pretty cool. The song slaps. The song's alright. There's the fattest pulls in the game. S for Xenos. Okay, I see a lot of bias coming in. I don't share the sentiment. But Xenos wasn't bad. The problem I have with Xenos is that he's a bitch. Or he's being a bitch, sorry. Like, you know, he's meant to be like a huge antagonist, and we're just like fighting him in a dungeon and shit. Because he enjoys fighting us or something. Mount drop rate was cursed. The mount drop rate's pretty bad. I don't think it's bad. I have no issue with this dungeon. And the second boss is cool. All the bosses are pretty cool. It does drop a mount. Now, I wouldn't normally factor things like this. However, this is the only dungeon that drops the amount in the entire game. The only one. So for that, it's going in B. It's getting a low B. Oh. Looking fresh, Chief. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Kugane Castle. Honestly, it's just really nondescript to me. The bosses don't make up for anything. Music was whatever. The fuck was the second one? Oh, the big ninja dude. Has a bit of interactivity at the end in the form of like a DPS check in a way. In that, like, the thing does more damage if it picks up more coins, but like literally who cares? Jimbo and the suicide bots, yeah. It was pretty... They were kind of shit. Two scholars rage quit on me. Yeah, it's either a low C or a high D. I think I'm gonna give it a high D. Like, it's just... There's nothing cool about it, and it's boring. There's no redeeming factor anywhere. It's a dungeon I did in like 4.1 to get some gear. Basically. And then I started. Alright, Temple of the Fist. Like, this is where we're heading into like mega linear territory. Like, I really don't have great things to say about a lot of these. I think it's just like, I prefer it to Kugane, so it's going C. It's going low C. 16 damage stacks on Ivan, is that even... Can that kill you? I learned the hard way, the mobs are immune to frost damage. Wait, what? Doing a tier list? We are, we're coming towards the end of it slowly. This is what we've got so far. Can I zoom, actually? I actually can. Okay, whatever. Zoom it in slightly. No, the bottom tier is called the bin, by the way. It's just the bin. Oh, right. Drowned City of Scala. Again, very linear, but it has a fat pull. I kind of like the last pull as well, because it has like AoE damage, raid-wide, like shit. The glam is very, very cool. I still think it's a bit overrated, but Diabol decent dungeon glam is a win. Has the cute manta ray thingy mob. Beef B because of glam. Turning into the ghouls is cool. It's either a high B or a low A. B because you can fall off. Tunnel's like idea of good dungeons is, can it kill people? Yes. Good dungeon. Low A QQ. I'm gonna give it benefit of the doubt as being like the glam is pushing it up. Hell's Lid. I think it looked very nice. I really liked this dungeon. The fat pull at the end was fun. The last boss was kind of cool. I like arena stuff. Everyone knows this by now. I think I'm gonna say high B. Like, it doesn't do anything special. That's the thing. But I find this dungeon fun. I don't know why. I just find this dungeon fun. I think it's fun. I think we're gonna give a high B. Never had another dungeon like it. It's a good argument. It's a good argument. Alright, we're going to speed up just a bit. I don't want to spend all stream doing this. We've got some PFs to do. But, I'm glad people are enjoying this. Something a little different. Fractal Hard. Insane music, even though it mutes my VOD. Bosses are pretty cool. There are big pulls if you want them. I think overall this is a very good dungeon. Is it still grading? Yeah, man. There's a lot of dungeons in this game. But we're gonna speed up a bit now. Fractal, I think I either want to give... It's very close to Hell's Lid for me, but I think it's actually slightly better than Hell's Lid. This was like these two dungeons were like as good as Stormblood ever got. Like it's getting a low A because of its pull variants, because of the boss. This boss is being kind of fun, especially the first boss. I really like the first boss. It is very linear, but like it's and the music is very cool. Remember the second boss? It's the guy that takes his attacks from the 3 of Warring Triad and like a load of ethereoplasm and stuff. Can't remember its name. Don't ask me to remember boss names, chat. That shit's hard. Alright, Swallow's Compass. A-grade glam game. Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. The Swallow's Compass. First section kind of wank. Boss kind of bad. Second boss kind of bad. Alright, it's got good glam game. It looked very nice. This is when they really started coming to their own with like appearance. Swallow's Compass. I mean, if that's what you're into. I don't know. Like the glam isn't enough to make it up for me though. I'm giving it a low B. I didn't find it very fun to do. The glam is good. The glam is what's putting it into B. But I didn't find the dungeon very fun. I thought it was kind of boring. St. Mochian's hard. This was the shit dungeon. Quite literally. With all the mud and stuff. Where you'd use the taps and clean off the mobs. I like that. That was a nice touch. I think that's very cool. However, the rest of the dungeon does absolutely nothing for me. Like, I think at this point they were very set in how they were designing dungeons, and it really started to show. It seemed like they were all for aesthetics, and the aesthetics were fine. Like, it was thematic, but it was just... It didn't do anything else. Like, it didn't do anything else. It's an even lower B, because like I didn't get mad when I had to do it. Like, the aesthetics, how good it looks, is keeping it up there. Actually, do you know what? No, I can't stomach that. It's a high C. I can't put it in B consciously. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Alright, the burn. Oh, the burn. The tears over the last boss. The tears over the last boss. I loved it, man. What's up, Gali? S tier. The music is very good. The music is good. Bosses. What was the first boss? Oh, the Scorpion. I see. This is where it's getting difficult, because like it has good things about it, so it's not a C. But I don't think it's good enough for an A. Like, in my opinion, like just the design of these dungeons were getting more and more just safe, and that's losing points for me. Like, I just... But we did have a hard last boss for a lot of people, and that was good. The atmosphere is perfect. Good gear drops. What, you mean it was good for farming GC seals? I mean, I guess. Alright. I'm gonna go like highish B. Alright. That's the highest I can give it. The actual design of the dungeon's just too boring for me. But I appreciate what's good about it. I appreciate what's good about it. I remember, chat, this is like mostly my opinion. You guys are certainly helping me remember helping me remember like goods and bads and stuff that I might have forgotten. I really appreciate that. I'm taking everything you say into account. Gimlet Dark. Like, the last boss was kind of the highlight, even though the downtime was a bit extensive. B. Best Stormblood dungeons. Low A. Yeah. I'm thinking mid B. Like, it felt like, this is something that can't really be like put into words, right? But like, it felt fun. Like, it felt fun. One of the best story dungeons. It was good for story. The cringe voice lines, however, were not. Didn't enjoy it. All Magitech bosses, yeah. The Magitech bosses weren't great. Nibbler PDX, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Appreciate it. It's gonna be above Snow Cloak and stuff. I can't put it any higher. It's like mid to low B for me. Like, it did. Alright, like a more mid B. Like, it did feel kind of fun to do. The bosses were, I mean, fine, I guess. There's too much downtime in the bosses, though. They all had downtime apart from the first one. Okay. First, we're gonna get Brayflox normal out the way, because it's not Shadowbringers. Brayflox long stop. Not great. Not great. Kinda bad. Not great. D, I'm inclined to agree. Boss fights that just aren't really boss fights. Like, the second boss fight, what the fuck was that? It's adorable. I can't count that, I'm sorry. It's going in D. It's just ahead of... It's just ahead of... no, it's behind Sastasha. It's around there. I don't know, man. The optional stuff you can grab. It did have a more open design, you're right. I just think it wasn't very fun. The bosses were, again, not bosses. Doesn't Brayfox give you a choice? Kind of. I guess. Alright, I'll give it a high D. Give it a high D. No, I'll give it a low C. It gets a low C. It's low C time. Okay. Cutter's Cry. Yeah, there's another one more round we bought. There's so many fucking dungeons, man. Holy fuck. Cutter's Cry. Dude, it's a fucking high bin. It's a high bin, man. It's a nice, lavish, like, copper-plated bin, you know? It's got its own, like, room. Alright, it's got its own, like, souped-up apartment bin with several levels to it. No one throws cigarettes in it. They respect it too much. But it's a bin. I know you can tunnel, but I'm thinking about the dungeon just mostly from a design perspective right now. Like, difficulty again, can't really play into it. It's a high bin, man. Alright. It's... Wait, Sunken Temple of Khan normal. Never mind. Sunken Temple of Khan normal. First boss is fucking hilarious. This is Sunken Temple of Khan normal. The second boss is just offensively bad. The third boss isn't great either, but it has you killing ads and stuff. Sprout's not reading chat? Yeah, pretty much. Alright. Wait, and then there's Hawkman are normal. Oh my god, how many? Hawkman are normal. Yeah, I'm giving it a high D. Hawkman are normal. It's got interactivity. The aesthetic is nice. I like the dungeon section. I think the dungeon section's alright. One of the only ones that makes you kind of return for convenience. Actually open dungeon. Yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff you can go into. It's just a shame that it's kind of pointless. It's not as good as hard, so it can't be a B, really. But I think we'll give it a highish C. It can go ahead of Sestasha. I think this is fine. No, not that high. B for me, it's fair. I understand why people don't like it. It's not great. Okay, right. Now we're on to Shadowbringers. And, oh boy, does Shadowbringers make me bring shadow to my eyes because I closed them. That was really bad. Alright, Holminster switch. Holminster, you were a good introduction to Shadowbringers. I'll at least give you that. Like, it was at least a good introduction to what we are facing. I have to give it credit for its story, like Tesleen Pepe hands. Like, fucked up village looked really kind of cool and thematic. I Trust system made me detest Holminster. I mean, trust system will make you detest anything. A at least. Like, we have to look at dungeon design, and design-wise, it had big pulls. It was okay. I think it gets, like, I've talked it up a fair bit. I think we can put it lowish B. Linear isn't always bad. No, like this allowed you to pull large. After the second boss, it's pretty bad, but I think the bosses were okay. They did some stuff. Don Meg, very colorful. Don Meg is alright. It's I think Don Meg is okay. The big pulls at the start are nice. The use of the interrupt on the guy is alright. The boss is the boss is alright. The last boss's downtime phase was okay. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna put it into A, chat. I can't believe I'm doing it. It's a low A. Like, as much as, you know, we're rubbing our hands getting ready to shit on Shadowbringers dungeons, like, Don Meg, I think, was cool. Like, they clearly went wild with it, and it was cool. Very thematic. Like, the theme kind of annoys me, but thematically it's still cool. Kitana Ravel. Extremely boring. Mob density could be nice, sure. But this is where the formula started setting in. Like, the formula really started to set in. Thematics and aesthetics are nice. Glam's a pog. It's just like your opinion, man. I don't agree. Sorry. But if you like them, that's cool. You don't remember this one? I mean, yeah, that's understandable. The last section was very pretty. But the bosses weren't that good. I'm putting high C. I'm putting high C. I can't justify putting it any higher, because every time I think of something that's good about it, I think of something that's bad about it. Malike as well. Oh. Malik as well. Malike as well. More like my fucking cock's in a well because I'm bored and this dungeon isn't fun. And the last boss is nice. I disagree. I think it's got way too much HP. It feels so... I don't know. It just feels very... very boring. Right, this can't go any higher than a D. I'm honestly considering E. Because again, like, they fucked up at the end of, like, the staggered, like, reviving golems. None of the boss fights were any good, in my opinion. The music is forgettable. The whole aesthetic, while I understand it, I'm gonna give it a high E. I really don't like this dungeon. I'm sorry. I just don't. Mount Golg. Yeah, the last boss doesn't do anything. It's extremely boring. Like, offensively bad bosses really bring things down for me. Mount Golg. Extremely pretty. Very, very cool to look at. I think B, A, D, A. I don't know. You guys are very, very nice to dungeons. It allows you to pull the whole dungeon. The first pull is pretty pog, yeah. I really like the theme and the aesthetic. I like the story. The bosses are kind of cool, I guess. Well, first boss is kind of boring. The second boss is cool, and the third boss is cool. Alright. It's in B territory somewhere. I think I'm gonna put it, like, here. I think this is okay. It's a high-ish B. I'll give it to Mount Gold. You got a haircut? I did. Hello, Alchemy. How's it going? Amarot! The final days of Amarot. Now, I've had some fucking terrible experiences in this dungeon. I'm good, Alchemy. Thank you for asking. I'm doing pretty good. Right, there's two ways you look at this dungeon. You look at it for just how pivotal for lore it is. Fucking tunnel, dude. And you look at it from a design perspective. The bosses are kinda shit. Don't, like... I think this dungeon overstays its welcome a bit. Like, it looks great. The music's great. But I don't want to keep giving bonus points for aesthetics, because no one has ever faulted Shadowbringers dungeons on aesthetics. It's everything else that's wrong. But the second boss sucks, the third boss kind of sucks. The first boss is, like, acceptable, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't have replayability. Yeah, it, like, I'm sorry to those that really love Emmett Silk and the lore and stuff. But I can't put it, like, any higher than here somewhere. I really can't, like, just... The theme with Shadowbringers dungeons is that, like, none of them are offensively bad. Not even Malika's, like, it's, I put it in E, but, like, it's not offensively bad. It just, I have no good memory of it. I think it was really bad for XP as well, actually, now that I think about it. That adds on to it. But, like, just, Shadowbringers dungeons just play it so safe. My healer has a tear called "Let me play the game, please, Lamar." Fair. I just... the twining. We'll move on. The twining is like cat jam AF. The aesthetic is very cool. The last boss is a rip-off of Alexander. I get it, that's the point, but it still is. Twining, is it twinning or twining? I don't know. Someone said twining once. Twining goes in S. No. I'm sorry, no. The bosses aren't that fun. The mobs, it's going low B. Like, I can try and think of excuses. Like, the music is good and it looks good still. But it doesn't fill me with excitement to do the dungeon. Like, the bosses suck. The mob packs, like, yeah, they're big and kind of alright. Yeah, I agree with that, Dancing Flames. Just like the story and aesthetic. Like, these are two things that Shadowbringers can always fall back on. Academia Oneida. I was thinking of Anamnesis. Now I'm thinking of Academia. It's okay. It's... The second boss is a sponge. The third boss is very boring. The mob packs are boring. The aesthetic isn't even that great. Only the first pull is any fun. Yeah, it's going in D. It's like a D. Like, I don't care about the music. I don't care about the elevator music either. Yeah, I was shaking my legs, sorry. Yeah, there's no not really many redeeming qualities. Understandable, V. That's fair. Grand Cosmos. It's pretty. Well, the music I don't care about. The mob placements are extremely boring. It has the Exabrooms. Dungeon tier list, yeah. The Exabrooms. I'm sorry. People are gonna fucking like shoot me for this, but all it's got is a pretty look, in my opinion. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. The bosses are pretty uninspired. Right, it's between high E and low D. Yeah, and the needless gating at the end as well. That was bad as well. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it in high E. I'm sorry. Anamnesis. Honestly, it's a high bin from me. I just can't. Like, it's a bin. Like, the first section is so offensively bad. It's so offensively bad. Don't put auto-scrollers in my fucking dungeon. In fact, they did that to Baelsar's wall. Wait, where the fuck is it? They did that to Baelsar's wall. You're going low C now. Fuck you. Right, they did that in Baelsar's wall. Right, don't do this. This is a sin. Yeah, I can't think of any redeeming features of Anamnesis. The best part of Anamnesis is when Bismarck goes, "Ha!" No joke, man. That at least made me smile. Everything else sucked. Veil in S? Yeah, it is. It's an S. When was it stopped showing up in Expert? Yeah. And Hero's Gauntlet, asset reuse the dungeon. It was nerfed. The second boss apparently was nerfed. The mob packs are shit. Yeah, apparently the second boss had an enrage. Apparently it had an enrage. This is what I was told. I don't know if that's true, but I swear it had an enrage. Someone said this, and they said it was nerfed. And I believed them, because it sounded like something that Square Enix would do. What the fuck the hair? Hello, Tiggs. I'm a new man. It's getting a low E. Like, it's just about out of the bin because it looks nice. It looks nicer than Anamnesis. It's asset reuse, but it looks nice. So, and Matoya's is not on this list. This is 5.3. But Matoya's is somewhere low down as well. Like, I'm getting really tired of this abhorrent mess that they're making with these dungeons. Like, Matoya's wouldn't be high up. I don't know where. But there you have it, chat. So for those who perhaps weren't here, the S tier dungeons are the Vault, Aurum Vale, and Soakai. The A tiers are Tamtara Hard, Faris Sirius, Lost City Hard, Zelfatol, Anti-Tower, Drowned City, Scala, Fractal Continuum Hard, and Don Meg. And like these are all up here for different reasons. But and so undertuned. Well, some of that is due to gear. Some of that is due to gear. Why is Aurum Vale up there? Because it tests you. It offers freedom. It tests you. The bosses might not really be bosses, but they fucking hurt. They offer interactivity. Like, Aurum Vale, I think all around, just does a great job of challenging a player and showing them, like, what they should be doing. But yeah, there you have it. Tier list is done. That's pretty insane. It's a lot of dungeons. You can't fault them for not having many dungeons. It's just a shame that a lot of them are just kind of average or worse. But B is almost full tier, so a lot of them, you know, are at least tolerable for one reason or another. So, you know, like in general, like it's not as dire as we think, at least in my mind. But yeah. It is fodder content, yeah, and that's the problem with dungeons on the whole. Dungeons just have very little effort put into them these days. They're just there to give some people something to do. Once a day for expert or something, or a roulette.
Oh, my shoulder!
Go Marcia, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, welcome. But that is enough of that. Of the tier list at least. Good stuff. I'm glad we did that. Something different. Alright. Next up.